Doubt destroys more dreams than failure ever could do. It's good to have a dream, but it's better to be a planner and a worker. Results don't come from dreams. Dreamers only dream and quit when challenges arise. Risk takers fight through the challenges. It's not enough to be a dreamer. Do you spend your life wishing, dreaming, thinking about what if, or if you could only do something? You spend more time thinking about it than actually doing it. At some point in your life, you need to realize that change only happens when you take action. Actually, when you live your dream, those things that you seek will actually seek you. You see, the problem is that people spend their time chasing their dreams when in reality, they need to focus on themselves. And those little things that they desire will come to them. Each of us are unique. But one thing that's constant with each of us, regardless of who we are or what talents we have or what our potential may be, something that's very common to us is that we lack the faith that we can make it happen in our life. We lack that self-assurance that we can actually change, that there is a better version of us. And that's because we live in a negative world. That's because we live in a negative state. You see, we are constantly being bombarded with negativity, not external so much as it is internal. You see, there's a fight going on between us, and that fight is real. And the story that illustrates that is a story about the old Cherokee grandfather who was teaching his grandson about life. And he said, "A fight is going on inside me," he said to the boy. "It's a terrible fight, and it's between two wolves. One is evil, he is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego." He continued, "The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, sympathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith." The same fight is going on inside of you and inside every other person too. The grandson thought about it for a moment, and then he asked his grandfather, "Which wolf will win?" The old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed." You see, that fight is going on inside each of us every day. The wolf we feed is the one that will win. You see, when we're so caught up in negative thoughts and doubts about our abilities, we're feeding the bad wolf. We're giving life to it, and therefore it takes over and becomes us. It becomes our way of thinking. And the opposite is true as well. Once we understand that we have great potential within us, God-given DNA to be fantastic, to be marvelous, to be incredible, yet we don't believe that, and we allow negativity to actually rule our day. Once we understand and that we have the power to change that, then that puts us into the driver's seat, and it allows us to actually be in control of what we want to do in life. We have to realize that it's possible. You know, what you're seeking to do with your life, someone has already done. It's already happened. Therefore, if they could do it, so could you. I mean, what's the difference? What's the difference between someone who's become successful in what you want to do and your desire to do it yourself? The only difference is you have to believe that you can do it. You see, in 1954, Roger Bannister ran a 4-minute mile. He had done something that no one up to that date had recorded ever being able to do. Physiologically, people thought it was impossible for a man to run that fast. But he was determined to beat the odds and to do it. And on that day, in 1954, Roger Bannister broke the all-time record and ran a 4-minute mile. Do you know what's happened since then? Thousands and thousands of people have also ran a 4-minute mile. Some as young as high school students. Why were they able to do it? Because they realized someone else had done it. Therefore, they could do it themselves. They realized that it wasn't impossible. You know, John Goddard, a great adventurer, known actually, Time magazine called him the modern-day Indiana Jones, circumnavigated and explored the entire length of the Nile River as a young man. What he didn't understand and realize at the time was no one had ever done that. He was the first, but he didn't know that. He didn't know that it hadn't been done. It wasn't part of his thinking process. He just set out, and it was his goal, and he did it. I mean, what is holding each of us back from doing those things that we want to do, that are dreams, our wishes? What's holding us back is us. Our inability to actually realize what our potential is. You see, when you realize that you can do anything you want, then nothing can hold you back. You take all the steps necessary to learn what you need to do. You pattern yourself after successful people. It's a mindset. It's a mindset that must be changed within. Otherwise, nothing can happen. Don't worry about other people. Don't stop trying to impress other people. Work on you. Change those habits that are keeping you from getting to where you want to be. Do that, and then that will set you on the path of finally realizing those dreams that were meant for you. Remember, success is never an accident.